Hi, I'm Angela Dahl Murray. I am Miss USA Universe Supermodel of the Year, and I'm also your host for the show for First Base. Welcome to First Base Dating DFW. And I am here with my co host today, Miss Kimberly.
Hello, Kimberly Norris Elliott, CEO and founder of Fearless She, also over Outer Mind Marketing and Experiential Events. And I'm so happy to be your co-host today.
Absolutely. Welcome,
Let's have
Kimberly.
some fun.
And we have two special guests that are also joining us today. Today we have Jade.
Hi, how you doing?
And we have Hunnie Dollar that's with us today. So we're going to talk about some of their crazy dating experiences that they've had, and maybe end it with some of their non-negotiables on dating today.
How'd you get the name Hunnie Dollar and why you like that more than Stephanie?
I like that more than Stephanie because I do hair for a living and permanent makeup, and I have a lot of people tell me that I'm sweeter than Hunnie, so I don't know. It kind of just sat for a long time, and I felt like my whole life Stephanie was kind of boring for my personality. And so I was like, I mean, Hunnie Dollar, that's kind of new and different and gives me all the 1990s vibes. So
I love that.
Well, all you singles out there that like Hunnie, there you go.
So it's interesting you said 1990s vibe. So is that kind of you? Is that really
I would say 90s were most epic and fun, and you learned a lot when it came to dating and just who you were becoming and what your non-negotiables might be later after all the experiences. But I mean, was 90s bad for anybody? I don't know.
Do you have an experience that was probably the most memorable, whether it was good or bad for you in dating?
I do, and I probably am going to sound a little contrary or not popular opinion, but I'm a mom and I have a young daughter, and I think my best experience was my high school sweetheart because you're on the same playing field, so you kind of have a little more room for forgiveness and experience and saying I'm sorry for the things that you're learning through hormonal challenges or peer challenges, or you're just starting to learn to date, right? Like before that, you're running away from people and being like, no, my dad and my mom will like hurt you.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Don't like boys, don't like girls.
Yeah. And you mentioned the same playing field, because you're the same age, you're going through the same things, you're dealing with the same things. Did you find it harder, like say after you were 25, but did you find that it was harder to find those same likenesses or interests or somebody that was a like-minded person with you?
I found it harder for people to be forgiving, like because they were hardened or jaded or like, no pun intended, my love. You know you're my twin flame.
I'm always known as the negative thing.
No, but I mean like, at that point, they just have this strict thing where they're just like, oh no, like we can't learn and forgive anymore past this. So I think because of the openness when you're younger, it's easier. So if she comes to me when she's in high school and she's like, I'm in love, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you the tools and support this and help you guide through it.
Absolutely.
As opposed to being like, no, you don't know what love is. You don't know what this is, because you do know what love is at every age. I mean, I believe my daughter every time she tells me she loves me, even when she was 9 months old.
Absolutely.
Right.
Jade, I want to ask you about that. Do you have any kind of like, what is probably your most memorable dating experience that you've had so far?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
let me pull my chart out.
do that.
All right,
That's
let me
how I
get
did
comfortable.
So memorable would be I am originally from California, and I'm a cosmetologist out in California. So when I came out here, I knew nobody. I had no friends, I had no connections, nothing, right? To come out here, and the first friend I made ended up being a stripper. And my sister was getting married, and I was her maid of honor. And I took it upon myself to, get a little frisky. And,
Love it.
So I'm scoping their Instagram page out to make out what kind of guys they have in Dallas, right?
Absolutely.
What do these Dallas guys look like? So anyways, I came across two in specific, and they ended up being roommates, right? And the one that I paid close attention to You know, we spoke. I guess our first message, I wrote him and I was like, "Are you even real?" Because he looked like Superman, man. So I'm like, "Well, are you real or is it, like false advertising? What's going on, right?" So he ended up being very real, and we hit it off real well, and it ended up being a crazy demonic almost experience because we got too close to where we were like, we're best friends, you want to be my best friend? We're gonna write it in blood. Right?
Oh,
Crazy. So we made out this entire contract, I swear to God, because I was like, sorry, swear to goodness. But so we wrote out this contract and we were like, so if we're gonna be best friends, we're gonna do this, and I know you're a stripper and you have your needs, you need to do all that stuff, and I'm very supportive as a friend because that's cool. And so I wrote out this contract. We wrote out this contract. We stamped it in blood like crazy people, and now I just feel like I sold my soul to the devil almost. Because everything that happened throughout our entire relationship was like, it was supposed to be one that was open at first, but he didn't take advantage of it, so it became monogamous, and the monogamy ended up, it just made him spiral into the womanizer that he knew he was, and he no longer had that intention of being my best friend. He had all the intent to hurt me because now I've stopped his life. Because now that monogamy ended up stopping his life as far as his customers. I was interfering in his workplace. And so a lot of weird stuff happened before all the toxic part happened.
Was there ever a discussion about maybe him changing professions so that would not be an issue with you guys?
At first, no. At first, he was very set in his ways about, I have my line of customers, I have this, I have that. But then we got pregnant. And, of course, I got the whole first reaction of, here, stop my life, get an abortion, and then, it got very toxic. And then I let him be a man when he wanted to be. And then at a point, he was saying that he was okay with leaving the business. Or the industry and getting, a normal job. And it got really confusing towards the end because he didn't actually leave. They had to shut down.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So there goes that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that your turning point as far as dating, or your breaking point, so to speak? Was he the love of your life, or I guess an even better question would be, from that relationship, what are some things that you learned that would be like what we call non-negotiables? What won't you stand for anymore? What won't you tolerate? What are those things? Or did you learn what you wanted versus what you didn't want from that relationship?
I definitely learned what I wanted to, because I knew who and what I was getting myself into, because I'm very self-aware in that aspect. And when I wasn't okay with the things that I thought that I would be okay with, I had to set those ground rules and boundaries for myself, because I knew he wasn't responsible for how I felt at the end of the day. No one can tell you how to feel. Correct. They make you, or you make yourself feel, correct? So past all the cheating and the games and the back and forth, there's one thing that I will never tolerate, is being called out of my name.
But I had a question for both of you ladies.
Sure.
So we've kind of heard a little bit of your dating horrors and some bad, but I want to know, when you picture your right relationship or the right guy or girl, it's 2024, whoever that might be, what are things that you envision? What does that look like for you? So for someone who's listening today, and it's like, I'm kind of interested in Hunnie Dollar. I need my hair done and I need to hang out with her. I'm kind of interested with Jade. Just so you know, Jade does our makeup. She's quite talented.
She's
and she's a poet. These are all both qualities, men, women.
Published poet at that.
Published
She's
poet,
actually
So
very wonderful.
I want y'all to speak truly out there Because a lot of times as women, we get caught up in what we've not gotten, and we can speak highly on it, but we don't speak what we want,
Right.
what we're seeking, what we're looking for. So I'll give each of you just a second, think about it, but I want y'all to share with everyone, what does good look like for you?
I know what good looks like at the top of my head. I want a man
Yeah.
of God. I need a man of God. I need him to instill whatever he feels is the right religion, whatever it is, he needs to have his own relationship and makes me feel strong and makes me feel tamed in my religion. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we fall on good days, bad days, we can fall in the line of prayer and family no matter what. And if I don't have that, you could be the nicest guy and be an atheist. You could be the meanest guy and be rich.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
You could provide everything for me, but if you don't have my faith and my religion intact, I want nothing to do with your presence. You are not welcome here.
Right.
So I need a man of God. And
I
period.
love that. And that might be, I remember you mentioning demonic.
Yeah.
And so hearing you speak of what you sought,
Yeah.
it's very clear that like that other road wasn't there. So it
Yeah.
stood out for us. And it's interesting. I think that's huge for other women or other people seeking relationships, that they hear that and they go, ooh, how often we travel a road that is not the vision we want, but we're still traveling it. So Honey Dollar, what about you?
I mean, I feel like faith obviously is like the first non-negotiable and strong point. And I feel like you have to have your 4 cornerstones holding up the house. But I think privacy would be like a second.
Okay.
Like after you've become an adult, you don't need to be asking your friends for advice. Like at this point, you should feel strong enough in your own heart and your own faith on how to guide your own family and how you'd want to do that. And it also should be who you discuss it with. Like when you include people on social media or your friends that you go hang out with that are possibly socially lubricated at the moment, like
I like that
you're not
word.
going to get the best advice.
Word.
That's a great
Socially lubricated.
Yeah.
New word.
In the dating, on a dating show,
Yeah.
socially lubricated. We're going to get a sponsor for that.
I feel like you should.
I feel like I'm going to go in the 7-Eleven in a few months and see something that's called socially lubricated in a machine.
Are you socially lubricated?
Also looking for your advice.
Right.
Understood. Yeah.
Right.
But no, I like if you feel like something's weighing heavy on your heart, or you maybe saw something that your partner did in public that you didn't agree with, like you should defend them in that moment. And then when everything's cooled down on a Sunday, when nobody wants to do anything but be lazy, be like, so can we talk about and discuss this a little bit?
Absolutely, and I want to jump in
Yeah,
on
I was
that.
gonna
That is a huge thing for me. Just being in a past relationship before where there was public correction, if you will, you know, that's very embarrassing for somebody that you love. So for me, if I'm with you, then I'm not going to question you. If you know, I'm all about integrity and honesty and things like that. But if somebody that I care for has told a lie in the moment, I'm thinking there's got to be a good explanation for this, but never will I question that in front of anybody.
Correct.
Will I ask for an explanation later on? Yes, because honesty, integrity, those things are super important to me. But a lot of times, I like honesty, but as I will just give this as an example, as a mother myself, would I lie for my child to protect them in a situation where they were going to be harmed? Absolutely. I don't know a mother who wouldn't do that, you know. So are there instances where there's a reason maybe for protection is why somebody's misguiding things? Yes. So, or if I don't like the way he did something or something irritated me in front of a group of friends or we were at a dinner, never would I correct him in front of our friends. That's degrading to me. That's embarrassing. But I want that same respect. I don't want that to happen to me. I 100% agree with you on that. There's a time and a place for that. But you see so many couples in public fighting and arguing in public, or maybe degrading each other. Or I'll talk to a lot of girls and they're complaining about their husband or their boyfriend or whatever to other people in public, and that's supposed to be the person that they love. And look, we all need that best friend that we have to vent to, but they're our best friend for a reason. That best is because we trust them, right?
Yeah.
But just to be where I call your friends that are your acquaintances, just to be talking about that personal thing, that to me is almost just kind of degrading in a way, if you will, to the person that we love when you're complaining about them to others. And those are things that we learn, you know,
Right.
we grow, we learn. I'm not saying that's people's intent initially, but wisdom and age as I've gone through the years, and when it happens to you, sometimes you step back and go, I didn't like the way that felt.
Right.
I hope I don't make somebody else feel that. So you're
Can I
totally
definitely,
right.
stealing what you
Absolutely.
just said for both these ladies, you both mentioned communication. So is communication a huge thing for you in your future spouse? Like the level of verbal, nonverbal communication? You said
Yeah, it's like a vibe. I feel like once you learn to remove your own ego from yourself, right? Like communication comes naturally.
I think that it's key for everything and everyone. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like if you just learn how to talk, you'll get through life swell. It doesn't matter if you're with a partner, your parent, your sibling, it doesn't matter. The way that you carry yourself as a whole, as a character, you're building that character for yourself, correct?
Yeah.
So when you go and converse with somebody else, you want to approach it easy. You want to approach it like casual and make it
Inviting.
pleasant and inviting for somebody to speak to. Because if you are aggressive and you're obviously confrontational, right? No one's gonna want to, be confronted by their attacker right now. Because right now they're on survival mode. Like, what do you have to say to me?
Right.
So, especially when it comes to a relationship, I feel like if you guys have already had a toxic history, then
So do you find for you that you are both accomplished in your fields and outstanding women in the communities that you've built? Do you find that men find you a little more masculine than you want to be perceived?
I definitely feel like men find me more masculine than anything. And I guess that goes as far as belittlement in things, because, a man likes to be respected like a man. And a woman should allow a man to be a man.
Absolutely.
So
We've taught this topic many
Yeah,
times
we
on
have.
this show, that professional women accomplished that are doing well have to be masculine in their career, have to be a masculine energy. When I say that,
An
they have to have a
energy, yeah, I like
masculine
that
energy,
word.
a hustle, a grind,
Yeah.
to run a business, to make it, to be a single parent, to do all those things. That's a masculine energy because it is protect,
Yes.
it is go and get and accomplish. So that masculine energy, when you're meeting people in the world, comes off, period. It's out there. But women are like, hey, but I'm still feminine in here. I'm like a flower. I need you to let it blossom so you get the feminine bud in the middle. And so we always ask our guests if they find themselves in that little bit of conundrum where they're like, I need them to see my purely feminine energy, at the same time respect the hustle of my masculine energy.
I think you have to learn to turn it off, right? Like, I took the keys and I locked the door to work. My baby's safe in bed, or she has a babysitter. Now I'm out, so it's a different role to play. And sometimes that's hard when you're going.
So do you find it easy to date, like especially being a single parent? Has it been easy to go on dates and go out and to meet people? Are you meeting the kind of people you want?
Ever since I've made it really clear, like, if you want to go on a date with me, it's going to happen on the first, third, or fifth weekend. And if you want me to go on a date with you, you're going to have to pay for a babysitter.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love
that's,
that.
I like that,
I
actually.
love that.
It's not
Actually, I
trying
like that.
to.
I love that. So
Spend
you
my
make
money
sure
on that.
it's clear that they
Yeah.
that
Need
they-
the money for the babysitter, need the money to not worry. And if they say no, I'm like, fine, I love my pajamas anyway, and I'll talk to my girlfriends.
I like
and
your
Yeah.
pajamas.
drink
Cute.
champs. Yeah. Matchy.
It's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
love that.
sure.
But I
Yeah.
love that. So you have a few things that you don't hide that you're a single mom. You
No.
make it very clear I'm a single mom, and here are the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
And
And the guys that are like, okay,
Yeah.
they're usually like, because what I've been doing is not working.
Correct.
Right,
Well, that's
at
why
least-
we're all here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. 'Cause-
And I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like most of the population, as far as females go, single females go, when you're over, again, that 25-year-old mark, there's a lot of females out there who are moms. I mean,
Yeah.
most of that percentage is. So, I mean, that's a cool mindset to have. Again, if that's your non-negotiable, we're not, look, babysitter, or we don't
Or you
date
don't.
or whatever. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's, because as we go through different experiences and stuff, and as we get older, we learn those things. Again, we learn what the do's are and what they don'ts are, and what we'll tolerate, what we won't, what we like, what we don't like. So I would like to kind of close up really quickly with just starting with you. If somebody just said, hey, what's your kind of bulleted list for your what you want, and then what is your bulleted list for what you don't want?
I guess if I was just meeting them, I'd be like, if the electricity went out and we had no money and we had to steal ramen and we were sitting on the floor with nothing, I need you to make me laugh and enjoy this cold ramen.
Love it. I love it.
With nothing.
Yeah, you're basically saying,
Because
let's
what
make
else
the
is
best
going to
of
get us
the
through the next
situation.
24 hours?
Yeah,
I love
yeah. And
Hey.
you're right, because
Yeah.
there's people that'll be there when you're thriving and you're
Correct.
doing well,
Yeah.
and they're all about that
Yeah.
lifestyle. But who's going to be there when you have nothing?
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
right
No
now.
filters to be like,
Exactly.
this is who, like, this is it.
This is it.
Right.
I love it.
They
All
like
of
the
it or nothing.
Sunday morning you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
love
mean, I
it.
kind of like Sunday morning me, but
Yeah.
I'm saying they need to like the Sunday morning me. But if you don't like Sunday morning me, we're in trouble. If you only like Friday night me,
I just
then yeah.
And what about you, Jade? I know you already mentioned your religion part, but what else? What are some of those things that you are saying, no, this is it, I cut it off here, or what are those things you look for?
I will never be controlled again. I will never answer to anybody. My
Amen.
partner will solely trust me and trust that I have my own best interest at heart, and will know that I come home safe. Now, if I am a poor decision maker, I need somebody to babysit me, then possibly, I'm like, hey baby, I'm a little tipsy and I
Right.
can't think for myself, so stay by the phone. You know what I mean? But I don't
Yeah.
need somebody that I need to answer to. You know what I mean? I'm a grown woman. I pay my own bills. I raise my own kids. I don't need nobody to lend a helping hand or anything, but to control me is another aspect. You can't tame a mom that has 3 kids on the loose.
No, you can't.
For sure.
Can I throw one little tidbit?
Absolutely.
So both of you are phenomenal. Spirit, mind, soul. And I'm assuming, I don't know your ages, but you get approached by men of all ages. Do you have any age criteria? Like for you, are you like, listen, I need you to be above this age, under
well,
this?
definitely above 18.
Please.
I need it to work.
Well, I mean, the reason I say this is like I'm comfortable saying mine. I'm in my 50s,
Right.
but I don't look 50.
No,
No.
not at all.
So my son is in college, and I would, go to visit, and I'd get approached by people on the college campus. And so one of my non-negotiables was, you can't be closer to my son's age than my age. Like, I don't care what age you are, but you can't be 25 in his class and go out with me. So I tend to look for men 36, 37 and up.
Yeah.
And go from there. So I just ask for y'all, is there any age range that someone looking who's watching this show might say, hey, she's looking for someone 28 and up. They're looking for someone 25 and up. Most of the people in our show are 25 and up, but or you may say, listen, I need a dude who's 45, got a couple houses, car. I mean, I welcome people to be real, because here's the thing, lying, being fake, or pretending we answer what everybody else wants is not getting us anywhere. So be real. So whatever it is for you that you want, I want you to have that opportunity to.
I think purposeful would be like a good word to use. Like, my mom's 10 years younger than her husband, and we're both in the beauty industry. Like, we get approached with this all the time. Just make me look my age. And it's like, but that doesn't even make sense, because we're supposed to enhance the beauty that you already have, and that shouldn't be associated with a number. And I think that that's like an old, like, maybe great grandparent way of thinking. Like, by this age you need to be married, you need to have this many kids, you need to have this much money under your belt. And with the way that we're evolving and how many people are in the world and how we're understanding to do things more quickly, and how we're also becoming more transparent with each other and more vulnerable to learn more things, I don't think it's age. I think I connect more with people like on experience and where you're at in life, and that's probably where you like need to be, I guess. Like,
so intellectually that compatible.
Yeah, or
So-
like experience. Like, I know I'm pretty naive because I had parents that kept me under lock and key for a very long time.
Right.
What about you? Do you have an age?
I feel like if everything works,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the age, as long
yeah.
as it fits and your same vision, same mindset. Maybe.
you stopped me at fit, and I'm like, no.
See? It's funny because we say these things, but then we're like, wait a minute. Because listen, I told people age doesn't matter. Then I got approached with the 24-year-old who was like, listen, age doesn't matter. I got a career, I got a job, I got everything.
I'm kid friendly.
Sit. And I was like, and literally, still to this day, calls.
Yeah.
And he's 24 now. And I'm like, and met him 2 years ago.
Well,
And-
think about all the people that saw divorces growing up. They don't even want to have kids. And
Yeah.
that's their age bracket.
that's
24 to
really
35.
And
They're like,
and he was just like, listen, my parents went through everything. I got on my hustle grind, and I see you on your hustle and grind. So we match in intensity and whatever, but I'm kind of like, hey, I don't want to have more kids. So age becomes an issue
When it
because
becomes with kids,
guys under 35, 36 are still looking to meet someone and have children.
would you do kids in a different way? Like adopt if you have the amount of
Teenagers.
money, or a nanny?
Teenagers.
Like for me,
Teenagers.
I wouldn't want to be single, but I would
But
totally
there's ways
like,
around it.
do I have a nanny? Do I get to do
See,
I have an allowance?
but I
Do I
think-
get to do all my things?
I do
Okay,
understand.
Another baby.
I do understand what
Yeah,
you're
see, they're no
saying,
more.
because if they haven't had any children of their own with a woman, they may. Adopting's great, but they may, you just
they're
have that
gonna
thing where I
eventually
want one of my own or whatever
Legacy.
like that.
And I'm like, not this boulevard.
I will say this
We
for
ain't renting
me.
this
I
room.
used to be a whole lot stricter on the age thing as far as my mindset. I got married very, very young. My ex-husband was almost 9 years older than me. But oddly, we were compatible. They say men, they don't mature till, or whatever.
Till
So,
60.
but oddly, we were compatible even because of the age difference, and we stayed married a very, very, very long time, and we share a daughter together. But after our divorce, I stayed single for a couple of years, and me and this guy had a lot of mutual friends, and he was 14 years younger than me. We were still both very grown ages, but he was still 14 years younger than me, and he had been married before, didn't have children, and our friends kept saying, y'all should hook, y'all have a lot of likes and interest, and I was like, I just don't see myself being compatible with somebody that much younger than me. And I just kind of put it out of my head. And they're like, well, you just got to meet. How do you know unless you meet the guy or whatever? And I'm like, I just don't know. And the funny thing about it, or the ironic thing about it, is we did meet. We hit it off right off the bat. We hunted together, fished together. We shared a lot of the same interests. And, just life happened, and we went our separate ways. But yeah, we were actually surprisingly very, very compatible.
Right.
So it started making me rethink the age thing, because I always thought, oh gosh, if you're outside a 10-year difference, I just don't see how that is. Then I met another couple that actually were 30 years apart, and I know it's not common, but they got along really well together. He treated her kindly. She had never had that before.
Right.
You know, they were good for each other. And then I thought, you know, maybe I'm just overthinking this age thing a little bit too much. So I've got one rule now with the age. As long as I'm compatible with them, they cannot be younger than my daughter.
See, that's what I said.
And my daughter,
right?
my daughter's a grown woman that is married and has a child of her own, so they cannot be younger
That's
than my
how I am,
daughter.
like
So
my
I just
son.
kind of that gets where it gets a little. The idea gets a little
That's why I
weird for me.
say,
But
yeah,
but
my son
anyway.
being 24, I'm like, that's kind of our cutoff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to take a moment to thank everybody for
Yes.
viewing with us again today, watching our episode. I want to thank Hunnie for coming on and Jade coming on.
No problem.
Thank
We
you.
enjoyed you. And ladies, anytime y'all want to come back on and visit with us and talk about some
heck
crazy
yeah.
dating experiences, y'all
Yeah.
are always welcome back
Thank
on
you
the
for
show.
having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So go on the YouTube channel, First Base Dating Global. You'll be able to go on, check it out, and maybe meet your perfect match and get to first base.
Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of First Base Dating DFW. Good night.
Woo, woo.
Good night.